Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Oh shit. I didn't even know that. Hey, there we go. Back in this bitch. What is up? What is up? Oh man, another day. This is the No I Don't Know podcast. Hey man, it's a motherfucking Sunday. For all y'all that's off on the weekend, much love and respect. I'm your boy Warren G, and the place to be. Been clown free and sucker free since 2003. You already know the same clown ass shit. You already know what I'm saying. Jesus come back today. Hey, 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 hey. Man, I'm about to start adding all kinds of sound effects and shit. Dogs, fire, ambulance and shit. But anyway, this is the No I Don't Know podcast, man. You know I always got to say, did Jesus come back? Just to fuck with everybody. But anyway, shit, let me turn this shit down a little bit. We turn it down. You know I had the music bumping and shit before. Looking at some shit on my motherfucking phone. Anyway. Oh, man. You know, I was looking at some stuff today. Man, your boy, what's his name? Antwon Rose. That's his name. Antwon Rose. Oh man, and what was that cop's name? I gotta look him up. I had him on my phone. I was reading about it. I read about the story when it kind of first happened, but I was like, damn, that's fucked up. The cop shot him in the back because they was riding in, I think, a stolen cab or some shit like that. A stolen whip. It was out of Pittsburgh. Let me see if I can find it. Because I had it on my phone, and I was reading about it again. I'm like, you know, my thing, I'm like, damn. Michael Rosejr, that was his name. I'm gonna put it in there. That was his name. Ain't that sad? That was his name. That's sad, man. Well, I'm about to get into it. I hate talking about this, how we always talking about somebody getting killed and protests, but I want to talk about this shit because we got to know who we are. Not even that. We got to know. We have to understand that that judicial system does not apply to blue lives, which are police officers. We got to know that for sure. We also got to understand this. We have to understand that Barack Obama signed into policy the Blue Lives Matter law or whatever. So they can kill you with impunity. It ain't really nothing you can do. You can sue them civilly, but that doesn't mean anything's going to happen. That doesn't mean that there's going to be justice brought to these police officers. You got to take street justice. Or you better put a lien on their bond. That's the only way you're going to get some type of justice. You ain't going to get no justice this way. Fight them in court and shit. I'm just telling you. To me, it shocks me a lot of the times. And the reason why it shocks me is because we still be on some protesting type shit. And that shit be kind of fucking me up. Because a lot of times I just be like, damn, man, we still protesting? We still doing this shit? That's what we doing? We protesting and fight for our rights and all that? These people don't care. How many times I gotta say they don't care about you protesting? They be laughing at you. They be laughing. Laughing at you. They think it's entertainment. You know what I mean? They think that it's entertainment when we get together and we protest and fight for our rights and no justice, no peace. Stand hands up, don't shoot, and all this other shit. This dude, I think his name was Michael Rosejr or whatever, wherever it is. He shot Antwon in the back. That don't shock me. And let me guess what he said. I was in fear for my life. Of course. Of course. Of course you was in fear for your life. That's the name of the game. You was in fear for your life. That's what you do. You say you're in fear for your life and they get off. The system is gonna side with they work for the system. They are agents of the system. Why do y'all think that y'all gonna be to get an attorney, taking them to court, and then all the judge gonna do is side with them, the jury gonna side with them, and then you gonna take it civilly, and then all they gonna do is award you $1 million or $2 or $3, and then you gonna go away like everybody else goes away. Because there is a monetary value that's placed on melanated people's lives, and they know that because they're manipulating the system to their liking. And they know, oh, we'll just give these niggas some money. They'll take the money. They'll take it with no problem. You know what I'm saying? They'll take it no problem. So I don't understand why a lot of the times we still be having hope in the system. You got to know the law to fight it aggressively. And within fighting the law, you got to know too that it takes money. It takes money. It takes capital. It takes a lot of finances to beat these motherfuckers at their own game. But a lot of us are not educated. So we get together and we want to protest. That protest don't mean shit. An eye for an eye means something. I bet you if these police officers was getting killed or their kids was getting killed after they killed somebody, then they would stop that shit. Then they would be like, all right, we got to do something else. Let's start making peace with these individuals. But we don't do the eye for an eye. We do, well, let's fight it the legal way. That Terry Crews clown shit. You see what it got Terry Crews? It got Terry Crews looking like a fucking clown. Talking about black men are toxic masculinity. No, why don't you take that energy and apply it towards that white motherfucker that grabbed your dick and balls in front of your bride? Because you didn't want to end your career, because you didn't want to be on TV, buck dancing, all this other shit. That's what I'm saying. No, there will never be justice for us as long as we don't see behind the decadent veil or see behind the curtain. We got to go and look what's behind the curtain. What's going on behind the curtain? We have to understand that what appears to be true ain't never really true. It's never true. It's never real. These laws were wrote in such a way that it's probably confusing to the average attorney. But these laws were wrote in such a way that, of course, anybody that's for the system, they're going to get off unless they're stealing from the system or they're doing something that might impede on the system's progress. If it's going to impede on the system progress, then of course, guilty nigga, you going to jail. But if it's for them, nah, you never go to jail. That's why every police officer, probably Walter Scott was the only one that went to jail. The only thing he got sentenced for a year, and Oscar Grant's killer went to jail for like a year, and then he back working. You know what I mean? These people they're smart. They know how to fade away into thin air and then go about their lives and live their lives. We don't even talk about Darren Wilson no more. Who said that Mike Brown fighting him was like a baby fighting Hulk Hogan? Come on, man. Come on. When Darren Wilson already got booted out of his last police district for misconduct and racial profiling and all this other shit. See, look, all they doing is giving racist motherfuckers the green light to kill people. To me, that's what I think it is. It's never gonna change. You have to change it. Stop going to the system thinking the system's gonna change it. See, we act like welfare recipients when somebody of our kind gets killed. We go to the system, we beg, we plead, we pray. Just gonna pray. You know, I was reading an article, they was like, you know, Antwon Rose's family was like, oh, I hope he never gets no sleep. Man, please, that nigga's getting plenty of sleep. He not giving a fuck. The only way he's not gonna get no sleep is if we take matters into our own hands. Put a lien on his bond. Put a lien on the whole district's bond. Do that. And I guarantee you things will change. But if things ain't gonna change, it's not gonna change the way we think it is. Going to the system and pleading, it's not gonna change that way. Not at all. You know what I mean? It's we think that the system is gonna change if we just do things in decency and in order, that things are gonna change. That's what we think. We think things are gonna change if we just do things the right way and we just, you know, pray and ask, you know, let's go before God, you know, and God will, you know, he'll help us. And no, you gotta take matters into your own hands. No, you gotta fight fire with fire and stop thinking that just because you praying and you holding hands and you protesting and writing on signs, no justice. You know, I'm tired of watching that shit, man. We are disaggregate people. We think protesting is the way. Fuck protesting. No, put a lien on the judge's bond. Put a lien on that officer's bond. You're like, why you keep saying put a lien? The reason why I'm saying that is because of this. Every public officer that works for the government is licensed, insured, and bonded. So if you put a lien on their bond, that's like somebody putting a lien on your house because they did work for you and you didn't pay them. We got to understand what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We got to know what it is and stop being a ignorant person when it comes to the law. I'm not saying I'm all that pepped on my law and all. You know, get your Black's Law Dictionary so it can tell you some of the terms, what they mean. Get your etymology dictionary so you can know exactly how the denotation of words, the connotation of words, the origins, the etymologies of what's going on. That's the problem. No, we do the same fucking thing. Look at Eric Gardner. That cop used a chokehold, choked the shit out of him because he was a racist motherfucker. He didn't like niggas, and he choked the shit out of him. And then what they got? $5 million? What's five? In New York City, what the fuck is $5 million gonna last a motherfucker? In New York. You tell me, what's gonna last in New York City? $5 million. That'll last you a year or two. After they done taxed your ass and fucked with you and made sure, and then they got the IRS looking into you, because you know, most of us, we gonna end up giving the money back anyway. That's why everybody come, you know, tax season, we do our taxes, then you start seeing all these commercials about buying cars, whether it's drive time or just cars, because they know tax season, niggas want to buy cars. Niggas want to move, niggas want to do things. So they know we're bound to give our money back to the same system that is segregating us, still Jim Crowing us. The slavery by another name is what they're doing. Same thing. No justice for Antwon Rose, man. None. None. There's not going to be no justice for him. They're going to give him some money and give his family some money and send him on his way. That's what they're going to do. And you're like, oh man, Warren, they ain't going to do that. Yeah, they are. And you like, why you saying that, Warren? Why you? I'm just saying because this is what we go through. This is what I have watched. I would say the last 8-9 years. This is what I watch. A nigga gets killed, whether it's on camera or not. The family takes the police officer to court. The system sides with the police officer, and then they sue the city, and then the city ends up giving them some bread, and then they go about their way. So basically, it's like, all right, here, nigga, here go a couple of million. You in destitute. So here go a couple million. Now you fuck out of here, clown. That's how they treat us. And then after all the money is gone and all the fight is gone and everybody done went around and went on their way, they back to killing niggas again. That's why I keep telling that story about when Philando Castile got shot and it was on Facebook Live and people was coming to me showing me that shit when I was at the corporate plantation. And let me tell y'all what my reaction was. That's new to y'all? I said this had been happening to my people for the last 500 years. And then motherfuckers left me alone. I just don't know what to say. That shit. That's why smart people, they're not even going to bring that shit up. They just going to leave it alone. And we got to understand, we have no allies. Nobody is our friend. Y'all better stay on code. Get Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. I keep telling people, read that fucking book. Read Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's book. I always show those books because I want people to go read them. I don't show those books and show you, oh, I read those books. No, I'm showing you the book too so you can go read it. That I'm not just talking out of the side of my ass so you can know. Knowledge is power. And then it depends on what you do with that power. Are you mentoring? And of course, you know they're going to say in the statement or you know, on the article I was reading that Antwon Rose, I guess it was out of Pittsburgh or whatever, he was riding a stolen car with some other kids and some other kids that did a drive-by shooting. And then one of the kids was like, oh, well, he didn't do it. But y'all already know. So let me just put this out here. We got to govern ourselves. We have to govern and police our people and start educating our youngsters on how to conduct themselves. I'm not saying how to be a coon, how to be a Sambo, how to be a kiss ass, just how to conduct yourself. If you young and you got your license and you riding around and getting it, you better stop riding around because you going to get it all right. Niggas got to understand that. If you riding deep in your whip, you got your windows down and your rims, and you bumping your music, guess what's going to happen? You a suspect today, Craig type shit. And they going to pull you over and they going to fuck with you. And if they, and I was also watching this, documentary. It was called Black Beach, White Beach. I think it was on Amazon. Black Beach, White Beach. And I think it was in South Carolina. And it was about how they have Black Bike Day and White Bike Day. White Bike Day is like 30,000 people. Black Bike Day is like 300,000 people. But when it's Black Bike Day, they reroute all the traffic so that niggas can't stop and show their bikes. And it's crazy. And then they start fucking with the niggas with the bikes. Oh, yeah, you look like you ain't got no insurance. Pull this nigga over. Now, oh, you ain't got no insurance. Let's tow his bike. Oh, you got a ticket. You got a citation. Just randomly writing citation and shit. But when it was White Bike Day, they wasn't fucking with none of the white bikers like that. See, that's the thing we got to understand. We ain't got no friends. Motherfuckers think we got friends. You don't have any friends. I don't care who. Look, I'm talking about real allies because racism is the competition between other races for resources so they can press and use those resources for the benefit of their people. It's a competition. And we are losing because everybody's got businesses. Everybody's got all these other things but us. See, only dumb-minded people and simple-minded people, in my opinion, when you talk about black businesses, black leadership, if you talk about that and they look at you as racist, then they're just ignorant. They don't know what the hell's going on. See, we're always looked at as pro-black or radical black people when we want the advancement of our people. Don't let people corrupt your mind and have you thinking like where you're feeling bad because you want the liberation of your people. You want your people to own business. You want your people to be in positions of power. That's not racism. First of all, how many times I got to tell you, and I don't care who get mad. I don't care how many, then don't watch the damn podcast. I'm going to keep showing y'all Y'all need to read this book by Neely Fuller Jr., A Compensatory Counter-Racist Code. Read this book. It's going to tell you about racism. It's going to tell you about staying on code. It's another book I always promote. The Destruction of Black Civilization. Go get this book by Chancellor Williams. It's a very good book. Very good book. We got to understand what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We got to know what it is. We got to stop being selfish, hoarding the information, hoarding the knowledge that we have and we've obtained so we can feel good about people. Spread this knowledge. Let people know what it is. If a person asks you, hey man, what book you read? Tell them the book that you read. Tell them. Like, you're afraid of other people having that same knowledge because now it's going to make you weak. Now it's going to make you strong because they're going to be like, damn, thank you for turning me on to that book. We got to know what it is, man. You know, the United States of America's foundation is built on jackery, thievery. They jacked this country. This ain't they shit. They are not indigenous to this landmass. No, what they did was they used the system of white supremacy. They used their system of being on code, and they've stuck to this code for the last 500 years. Shout out to ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves. Shout out to anybody that's for reparations of black people, which brings me to my next point. Stop worrying about Donald Trump and all this other shit and worry about us. You know, you have to understand what it is, man. I always say that. Look at things from a different perspective and not just the perspective and the ideologies that somebody gave you and the narrative that somebody gave you. Those history books that they give you in high school, and then you read these books and you're like, oh, well, the Constitution, man, you can spout out all that shit that you want to spout out about the Constitution. And I want people to know that. But I'll tell you this. The Constitution was written by white supremacists. That's all I need to say. It was not written for Native black people. It was written to govern Native black people and to benefit the system of white supremacy. That's why everybody that comes here has a business but black people. That's why everybody that comes here, including Africans, that I don't care where they from, Nigeria, wherever they from, they come here and then they hang amongst us, and then when they get looked at differently by the system, they start calling us akatas and cotton pickers and, oh, these niggas, and I do not associate with these niggas and all this bullshit. They look down on us. They think they better than us. They always talking this Nigerian bullshit when they get around the system and they want to be like a peacock and show their feathers. But then when they get treated like a nigga, then it's like, oh, why are you treating me like that? You are my nigga. What did I do to you? We go through the same oppression. That bullshit. But when they getting they nigga trinkets from the system of white supremacy, akata, and that bullshit, you know, and kata and peka, and all that other shit. Oh yeah, they know. Like I said, hey man, if you're listening on SoundCloud, I appreciate you. If you've been watching on YouTube, man, even though YouTube be fucking up, of course. And I bet you if I was on here talking shit about niggas, and it would probably never fuck up. But anyway, hey, if you're listening, hit the like button, hit the bell button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate everybody looking, watching, whatever. You know, it's the internet. I don't give a fuck. I ain't on here cloud chasing. That's a fact. I'm not going to do that shit. And I'm not going to shit on my own people. That's just not what I'm here to do. I'm not going to shit on other races. I'm just going to call out the fuckery that I see how other races treat my people. That's all I'm going to do. That's a fact. In any other race that gets offended, leave your comment. We can talk about it. But these are all facts of how my people have gotten treated. It's a fact. Now, are there other good races out there? Man, please. I've met a million good people out there that are not black. That's for the forward progress of black people. And know our history. And know what the fuck is going on. And will call another motherfucker out. They exist. It's just hard to find because that system of white supremacy is so global, it's so big, and it controls all the resources. It controls so much. That's why so many people buck up against you and will bow down and kneel and acquiesce and capitulate and bend the knee to the system, because the system controls resources, natural resources that we all need. It's a fact. That's why you don't go on the corporate plantation trying to lead some type of revolt and let's protest and all that, man. Don't do none of that shit. Go to the corporate plantation and get your money so you can take care of your family. And outside of the corporate plantation, educate yourself and educate others. Each one, teach one. That's what you do. Don't go on the job and get to acting the fool. And then, oh man, these motherfuckers fired me, man. Them crackers, fuck them crackers and all that. Nah, nigga. Don't do that. That's ignorant bullshit. Now, I'm not telling you go to work. Yes, sir, Dean King, sir, and all this bullshit. I'm not telling you to do that. Man. I'm not telling you to do none of that. I'm just telling you, know how to conduct yourself when you're on a corporate plantation. And for all you that have been on the corporate plantation for a while and are veterans on the corporate plantation, teach your younger melanated people how to conduct themselves. And my younger melanated brothers and sisters, stop acting like you know what the fuck is going on when you new at the job, at the corporate plantation, because you don't. There's so many young melanated brothers and sisters, you try to give them and look at advice, they start to, because they got their European education, they start looking at the niggas that are the OGs like you ain't shit. You know how many, let me tell you something, you know how many sisters that I've had to tell, look, man, that's good that you have that education, you got your degree in managerial, whatever, and all that, that's good. But that's really no good here. Because you're really not what they're looking at and what they want. This is politics now. That's why I always say the NBA, the NFL, Hollywood, politics, what else? What else did I say? It's all the same paradigm in corporate America. It's all the same paradigm. It's all they have the same type of energy. You just have to know how to get in there, do your job, do what you got to do, get your paycheck, and eject yourself from that system. You can't be one of those type of people that want to go there and, oh, I'm going to try to make a change and all that. No, make a change in your community. Make a change in your home. Make a change with your brothers and your sisters and your nieces and your nephews and your cousins. If you done read a book on some financial stability type shit, give that book to somebody so they can know what it is. And my melanated brothers and sisters, man, stop, put the goddamn phone down, put your phone down, put it down, and pick up a book and read it. Pick up a book and read it sometime. God damn, that's the problem. And nigga can tell me everything that's going on Twitter and Snapchat and every other thing, but then when you start talking about real social issues that impact native black people, a motherfucker, and then other races could tell us what we need to do, and we don't even know. Because we too busy focusing on shit like Roland Martin's boss hog head ass. Man, of course they're gonna have niggas like him on the Breakfast Club. Because he has a major platform, and they're gonna have that type of shit. They're not gonna have people like Antonio Moore on the Breakfast Club. That's who they need to have on the Breakfast Club, Antonio Moore. He'll shut that shit down. That's who they need to have on there. But that's Yvette Carnell too. But they're not gonna have those type of people on there because those people are too enriched in our history and our knowledge and know what we're lacking and what we need to succeed. That's why you got Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Cory Booker running around on this fucking campaign shit. But every time you be like, so what do you think about reparations for black people? Shit, Joe Biden straight out said it. I'm not getting, why I gotta pay for that? For the sins of our great-great-grandfathers who did that. Nigga, because you're a direct beneficiary of what they did, motherfucker. That's why any other race that act like, well, I wasn't there, I didn't do anything. But you over here running your businesses using green money with the pyramid on it that's backed by black people's belief system and principles, not everybody else, but our belief system. They got what? Just because they got George Washington and Abraham Lincoln on it? Look at that dollar. If that dollar has the pyramid on it, that should tell y'all everything y'all need to know. Everything y'all need to know. Don't got Michelangelo on there. It's got the pyramid on there. The all-seeing eye. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to understand what it is. And no, that poor boy, Antwon Rose, you know, R.I.P. to him, and that was sad the way he got shot. But, of course, that police was going to say I was in fear for my life, that he had a gun. That's what every officer has said. It's coerced. Them lawyers sit him down. He's got the Blue Lives Matter. And if you go ask another police officer, they'll probably look at it and be like, nah, that wasn't a justified shooting. But they're not going to come out and say it because they're so afraid of losing their shit. Why would they say it? Come on, man. You got to wake up. That's why I be saying, man, put the goddamn phone down sometimes and just sit down and read. And if you don't want to read it, go on Amazon and they got the audio books too. And just listen to, god damn, man. Educate yourself. Ask your average black person, hey, man, so who's responsible for geometry? Them motherfuckers gonna say, oh, but I think it's that dude, you know, because of the Pythagorean theorem. Nigga, the Pythagorean theorem, Pythagoras was a fucking thief. You know why? Because it's in this book right here. Stolen Legacy. Go read this motherfucking book. Go read the book. And like I said, the book I'm reading, numerology, they say it in the very beginning of the damn book. They say, all praises to Pythagoras, who he was our teacher, you know, who he taught, and then they taught us. And then if you keep reading, it says, oh, and Pythagoras was sneaking over there to Africa, Egypt, you know, even though Africa is a continent, but Egypt, which is in Africa, they were Africans, and studying, because he was sneaking over there to the mystery schools by the enlightened ones, which were us. That's what Aristotle and Socrates and Plato, they were all over there stealing. They some thieves. Don't let these motherfuckers have you thinking that they're the author of the narrative. No, they want you to do that. Because if they place themselves in front of the fucking camera, like, oh, we the ones that, you're going to be like, dang, they white, they did it. No. No. Just like Thomas Edison was fucking with Granville T. Woods. Of course it's fucking with him. Because you wanted all the goddamn patents. Because you want people, you want to go down like you created every goddamn thing when you didn't. But they got us thinking that. That's why you never hear about Granville T. Woods, but you always hear about that punk ass Thomas Edison. Right? These are things that we got to start educating each other on. And stop thinking that if we protest and file a lawsuit that things are going to be okay. No, sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. And stop fighting fire with water. For real. Oh, well, change is going to come. No, nigga, stop listening to that song. No, you have to manifest destiny. Justice in America. No, it's just us. Be on code. If you got a young brother or cousin like Antwon Rose who's riding around and getting it, somebody needs to start checking these youngsters' coattails. Hey, man, that's not what you want to do. This is bad parenting as well. We're not preparing our kids for what the fucking future is. No, what we doing is we just, you know why? Because we barely making it. And I get it. So as you barely making it, you can only offer and render so much of knowledge that you've obtained because you're trying to barely make it yourself. I get that. Because as a people, as a collective, we are struggling. As we own 2.6% of the nation's wealth, and 90% of the nation's wealth is being held in the hands of white people. Better go check out Tone Talks. I'm telling you. And you don't need no data for that. Y'all can't see it. Look at every corporation ran by Caucasians. Every single corporation, major Fortune 500 corporation. And then don't believe that shit that Bernie Ford's is putting in the magazines. The Forbes magazine and all that. Hey, like I told you before, you notice they always putting selected people in that Forbes magazine. Why don't they ever put Cornelius Vanderbilt in there? Why don't they ever put the Rothschilds in there? Or the Morgans? Or the DuPonts? Or the Carnegies? Or the Rockefellers? How come they don't never put their asses in that Ford magazine and start giving us a list of all their assets and shit? No, they not. They're not going to say that. But they'll put certain people like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. Those are proxies, y'all. Think outside the box. Anytime they put somebody in front of you, that's for a reason. That's why they put Michael Jordan and Oprah in front of niggas. They be like this. They be in the background like, the curtain be right here. They be like, we got to find them a nigger. Good. We'll put this nigga right here. Good. Look, this nigger's got that type of shit. And then they have everybody else thinking like, oh, I could be like Barack Obama. Man, get the fuck out of here. And for all those, that's my president. Oh, you love your president so much? Go watch Fahrenheit 11/9, and you tell me how you feel about your black president. Go watch Fahrenheit 11/9. As the people of Flint going through a water crisis, and they can't even drink the goddamn water, and Barack Obama says, when he goes out there, hey, somebody, go get me some water. And then he pretends like he's taking a sip. This is what he do. Well, I'm pretty short, you know. Everybody's played with some paint, some lead paint, and been exposed to lead paint. You know, we just gotta keep making a mockery out of kids getting sick. Making a mockery out of that. Hey, what's going on? Shout out to the chat room. What's up, Johnny Brown? I was just talking about for all y'all that's listening on SoundCloud, even if you watch on YouTube, hey, I'll be always chopping it up with the chat room. Hey, I was talking about Antwon Rose and how Michael Rosejr got off. Hey, what you think about that? It's sad, man. It's sad, but we still believe in Barack Obama. Shit, don't you talk about Barack Obama. It's like, no, then he should have took that spot. He should have declined it, but he wanted to be a part of them. As he ran on this yes we can and hope and all this other shit, as his grandmother left him $450,000. See, we never knew how much his student loans really were. I bet your student loans was like $30,000, $40,000. Especially if your great parents left you over $450,000. That's damn near $500,000. He just did the right thing with his money. That's because of the way he was raised and the way he was socialized. Do you know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not getting on my people. I'm just saying we have to start socially engineering our kids to think outside the box and stop letting them be engineered by the system. That's why I look at it like this. I was watching this thing, I think it was VH1 Driven on Nas, and how his dad didn't like the way the school was going, and he told Nas and their mom, just get them out of school. Them people ain't teaching them nothing anyway. It is the truth. I'm not saying do that to your kids. Teach your kids though. Kids are very impressionable. And when they're young, I would say from about 2-3 years old to about 7, 8, or 9, they're very impressionable. You can start them reading right then and there and start them on their walk of life and explain it to them. You look, man, you got to tell people your failures. See, that's the hard thing that I have with my people. We're looked at as failures to other races, so we don't want to talk about how we've fallen or failed at certain tasks or certain things that we've tried to accomplish because we have such an ego. But let me tell you something about the system of white supremacy. They know who we are. That's a fact. They know we're Moors. They know we are creators. They know that. If they didn't know that, they wouldn't have the music industry so sold up with them, because they know how creative we are. Music is soul, and they know that. And that's why they got their greasy hands all over music. That's why they like Michael Jackson. Because Michael Jackson beat them at their own game. What artists you know own 50% of Sony's publishing? of Sony, period. We got to know what it is. We need to pay attention to our code. That's a fact. And see, the police unions and all that, I'm not mad at them because they're a gang too. You know what it is though? They stay on code. What I've always been saying. And I'll talk about it again about this Muslim brother that was on Twitter. He kept saying, well, Islamic is the way and it brought us Malcolm and all that. And I'm going to say it again. Yes, the Nation of Islam did bring us Malcolm X by way of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But Brother Malcolm, not the Nation of Islam, Brother Malcolm was not on code. Because you don't go to the system of white supremacy and start telling personal business of your teacher. You don't do that. That's being off code, which put him in harm's way, which ultimately got him killed. You just wasn't on code, bruh. And hey, I'm not saying we're not emotional. We all go through that shit. But I'm just saying, I think Malcolm, somebody around him should have did some self-reflecting for him and been like, look, bro, you was dirty red at one point. Fuck that. Let's just go on about your way. If you don't fuck with the Nation of Islam, just don't fuck with them. And if they try to catch you up in questions, just say, I'm not here to speak about the Nation of Islam. I'm here to speak about me. Those things could have ended so amicably. But when you start tearing down your teacher because you don't like certain things and doing an investigation and all that. Now, some people may think what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was doing was wrong. I don't think it was wrong. I think that was that man's business. And I think that was in-house business. The Nation of Islam. Personal business. And no person on this planet had no right to repeat what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was doing. I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel. There might be a lot of Malcolm X fans out there that are like, oh, this nigga won. Oh, well, that's just how I feel. That's my personal opinion. You know why? Because that's together we stand, divided we fall. That's what happens. No, even if you on the other side of the line, you got to understand, y'all still fighting a system. You're still fighting a system. I don't understand why niggas want to tell on each other and they think they're going to get something from the system. Look at what happened to Malcolm X when he told on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They tried to frame the Nation of Islam, and all the CIA and FBI did was use covert, turncoat ass Muslims to kill him. Get your hand out of my pocket, nigga. Dead. What is better than anything else? Being on code. Knowing what the code is, establishing a code. Isn't that what gangs do? Isn't that what the mob do? The mob established the code, didn't they? So that's what we need to start teaching our young brothers and sisters. When you riding around and getting it, get from point A to point B. I'm not telling you not enjoy your life, but understand what is going on. Be mindful of what you're doing. If you with your homeboys, you with your partners, your niggas, attention is going to attract. Because it's going to attract some bogus attention from women as well as police officers, as well as haters. You got to do what's best for you. You got to do what's best for your family. But melanated people, we always look out for the best interests of us individually. That's what I don't get. We know how to look out for us individually. We know how to go in there to the boss and ask the boss for a raise and be like, oh, boss, I'm working hard. I need a raise. I got bills. I got kids. But as a collective, we don't see each other as a collective. As long as we doing good. Let me read the chat room. Dr. Francis Wessing said, ask people. You know the code, don't you? Yep. Dr. Francis Wessing talks about the gun. She talks about the pool table. She talks about all the symbolism. She talks about the matador and the bull and the black bull. You know, she breaks down the system of racism so cold. Oh, it'll have you mind fucked. Genetic annihilation. And it's true. And you say, no, yes, it is. Because that's what your girl Margaret Sanger was. A eugenicist who wanted to genetically annihilate black people. And that was Hillary Clinton's hero. I remember I used to tell my mom, why would you want to fuck Hillary? Well, she for women's rights. Man, and I used to tell my mom, you know that bitch don't give a fuck about no niggas. They was responsible for mass incarceration and all this other shit. And call niggas super predators. Then you try to come out with the hot sauce and dance with rolling boss hog head Martin. I don't like that nigga, man. I'm sorry. He's just one of them arrogant fraternity boule ass bourgeoisie niggas. Think because he got the European edge. First of all, this is my opinion on fraternities. Alpha Psi Alpha and Q and all this, okay, that's fine. You can have that. That's good. But it's a Greek fraternity. You're calling it a Greek fraternity, which they stole from Africa. That's why I be laughing at that shit. All the power is going to the Greeks. It's not going to Africa, which they stole from Africa. God damn, read A Stolen Legacy. How many times I gotta show this book? Read it. God damn, this shit is irritating, man. I got my book fan finally, and I started reading the papers that published in the New York Times. Thanks for putting me on, fam. Much respect. Hey, ain't that book a cold book? I'm talking to the chat room right now, y'all. Ain't that book, The ISIS Papers, a cold book? You cannot say it's not a cold book. Neely Fuller Jr.'s book. Look, I tell everybody who, if you just tuned in, hey, I'm telling you right now, get Black Labor, White Wealth, Powernomics, The ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Quest Welsing, and the independent maximum compensatory code of ethics, which I call it's really the compensatory counter-racist code. The compensatory counter-racist code by Neely Fuller Jr. Get those books. You can read them in whatever order you want to read them in. The first book I read was Dr. Francis Quest Welsing's book. That was the first book I read. Then I read Black Labor, White Wealth. Then I read Powernomics. Then I read Neely Fuller Jr.'s book. Once I read Neely Fuller Jr.'s book, I was like, oh shit. Because he was calling the system down to a science. Him and Dr. Francis Quest Welsing, they have the same views. The 9 areas of activity, they're real. Everybody that's watching, 9 areas of activity, I ain't got no books in front of you. I'm just going to recite the ones I remember. Let me tell you this. 9 areas of activity is this. I'm going to recite the ones I remember. War, counter-war, politics, religion, labor, law, sex, education, and I think it's and financial. Either it's financial or, yeah, I think it's financial. I forgot the other one. But it's 9 areas of activity that they dominate. The system dominates. So go get, hey, you don't believe me? Go get the books and read them. I want people to vet me out. Go read the books. Because let me tell you, called The System of White Supremacy, have read those books. And if you don't believe me, you go on YouTube and type in Dr. Francis Quest Welsing. Oh, there'll be so many videos on her. But I didn't watch the videos. I read the book first because I just wanted to know. I wanted to know who she was, what she was about, why she did the study. Dr. Francis Quest Welsing also mentions, I hate to spoil it, but at the end of the book, she also mentions about how the CDC creates these viruses like the swine flu, the bird flu. And by the time she wrote that book, which was in the 70s, they were already making Ebola. But didn't they tell you Ebola came from Africa? Facts. Financial is the last one. Okay, then I'm right. Shout out to the chat room. I told you. And it's true. Well, how do they dominate the financial sector? Clown. The Federal Reserve is ran by the 10 Jewish wealthiest bankers in the world. The Rothschilds, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Morgans, who JP Morgan was funding Nikola Tesla at the time, but then Nikola Tesla wanted to give away energy for free. And then JP Morgan was like, oh, I can't fuck with that shit, nigga. We gotta make a profit. Yeah, JP Morgan and Chase. Right. Mr. Pennybags on your Monopoly board game. Yeah, the nigga with the eye right here with the chain and the top hat and the cane. JP Morgan. Suffered from rosacea. Right. Facts. Y'all niggas better start doing y'all research and know what the fuck is going on. And know what it is. Sometimes I'll be like not frustrated, but I'll be looking at people, like my people, like, dude, what are you on? Look, go buy the rims, buy the cars, buy the Gucci, buy all that. I want my people to look fresh. I'll buy all that shit. We look the best in it anyway, so go buy it all. Hey, we ain't got to protest, no. Let's protest. We're not going to wear Gucci anymore. No, man, fuck all that. Go buy Gucci. I don't care about that. No, I just want us to be on code. Fuck all that. Be on the code. But I don't get into telling motherfuckers what they should spend their money on. But I'll tell you this. I will tell you to support black businesses. And I will tell you, if you could, put your money in the black bank. If you could. If you can't, it's all good. It's all good. But I'll tell you this. Be knowledgeable of what's going on around you. Yeah, it does say economics. That's right. Financial is economics. You're right. That's the 9 areas of activity. Well, how do they dominate religion? Clown. You go in every black church, they got Pal Gasol with a perm press kit. Look like Kurt Rambis with a perm press kit just for me kid. Come on, man. And that's who Jesus is supposed to look like. And then when you question it, then you're like, well, why he look like that? Oh, well, we don't ask no questions. Because you know in religion, Jesus said it. Jesus said it. That shit, they don't want you questioning shit in religion. You tell them, hey man, why you eating pig? Why you eating bacon? I thought it said that the swine was forbidden. But they make sure you're gonna pay them tithes though. See, that's what I'm saying. We take things literally when it's not beneficial for our people. This is no diss to nobody's religion. I don't care if you're Jewish, Church of Christ, Baptist. I don't care about all that. That means nothing to me. You know what means something? Is being on code. Being on code means more to me than your religion. We can talk about religion after we get on a code. Because let me tell you, Blue Lives Matter, the Fraternal Order of Police, that's a code. The government is a code. When do we get a code? Every other race has a code. Y'all need to start. You better read Black Labor, White Wealth. Any politician, as our brother Dr. Claude Anderson teaches us, any politician that gets to talking about minorities and people of color, and oh, you gonna care real soon when that economy thinks. I just take a look at so many niggas talk about the Raiders jumping around. We gonna see how much niggas talk about the Raiders when niggas ain't got no jobs, when niggas can't pay their bills, when niggas can't go get no, when niggas can't go get no shot of Jameson and a Bud Light at PT's Pub when they get off work. When niggas can't put a $20 bill in that Wheel of Fortune slot machine. Because every dollar counts because you ain't got no job because the economy is fucked up. They don't give a fuck about you. That's why they're called the 1%. Everybody that watches this, go on YouTube and look up the documentary, The 1%ers. They've got the Oscar Mayer Wiener dude on there. They got Warren Buffett's granddaughter on there. They got who else they had on there? They had the Johnson & Johnson grandkid on there. They had all the people who were generational wealth, a part of the 1%, billionaire families. It's a fact. Just go look at it. Look at In College We Trust. Look at the college system. I was watching the Final Four. I said, now I'm watching now how do all those Caucasian men, how does that work? Where you are a Caucasian man who probably never played basketball in your fucking life, but you can draw some X's and O's and teach a black kid how to, it's like, I don't get it. How's it even relatable? That's like me never taking a math class in college, but they put me, I'm the manager of operations for the financial district at a Fortune 500 company. That would never fly. Every Caucasian under the sun, and niggas too, would be going after my ass. Where's his degree at? Where did he work at? That's the thing I don't get. But because it's their system, we don't say anything. Donald Sterling says, fuck you niggas. I give you niggas your lifestyle. All them niggas did was put on a t-shirt. That was a protest. We got to know what it is, man. We got to know where we going. We got to know. You got to have a code. Stick to it. All my people, stop getting on these jobs and telling on each other, thinking you're going to get some type of award. No, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get the Hayward Shepherd Award. The fucking Coon Award is what you're going to get from me. So, the fuck out my face with the bullshit. Niggas always get high off having that energy towards each other. But when it's time to have that energy towards the dominant society, motherfuckers be like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Let me read from the chat room. The 1% of people who control the economy, and you probably have one near you, they have meetings, but I forget the symbol. Yeah, I think it's the, is it the, God, what is that? They had that on, it was on, what is that show that I always talk about? I'm blanking on Netflix. It's about politics with Kevin Spacey. They had it on there. Yeah, it's like the Mason symbol. Yeah, but it's like an owl. It's like the burning owl meeting or something like that, where they go and they sit and it's a whole bunch of 1%ers, like powerful fucking people. Yeah, and it was on a House of Cards. It was on a House of Cards. It was like the 4th or 5th season. It was on there where he had to go and meet with other powerful people, and it was like Burning Sands or Burning Man, the Burning Man, one of them. It's like it's like an owl that they have to pray to. It was crazy. And then somebody asked Bill Clinton about it. He tried to laugh that shit off like it had like no meaning, no significance. Yes, sir, yes. Yeah, and they go and they have these meetings, just like they have melanin meetings and melanin conferences, and they don't invite black scientists because they study our melanin and our algorithm. They know what we can do. That's why black people could be crackheads for 50 years and still live to be 80 or 90. You have to literally destroy your body to leave this earth naturally, because especially the melanin, it's a semi-superconductor and it can naturally heal your body. Yeah, you got to check it out again. It's on House of Cards, and it's like this meeting, and it's like they pray to an owl or some shit. You know, like it's this book I want to get to. It's called The Book of Booming, and it talks about all these presidents and all these people that were involved. And like it's crazy, man. All these little secret societies that they act like don't exist. They just make fun of them now because they know it's so blatant out there now. See, the thing about it is, too, people, it's cool to be conscious now. It's no longer, oh, he a weirdo because he conscious. No, it's like, oh, damn, he knows some shit. So we all got to get on that. Hey, man, it's been fun. It's been real. Appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hit the bell. Hit the subscribe button. I'll see y'all Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Hey, man, this is the No I Don't Know podcast. Shout out to Nuke. Much thoughts and prayers go out to Nuke. You know, sitting there, good vibes, energy. Hey, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing, hit the bell, subscribe button. Send this to any coon or Sambo you know. R.I.P. to Antwon Rose. And remember, y'all, be on code. I'm out. Peace.